How Tinubu plunged Nigeria into chaos by placing the cart before the horse, says Pastor Tunde Bakare. Hello everyone, welcome to newsspottv. The serving overseer of the Citadel Global Community Church, formerly Latter Rain Assembly, Pastor Tunde Bakare, on Sunday came hard on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This, he said, describing Bola Tinubu's removal of fuel subsidy and his implementation as impulsive. He said the poor people were being made to suffer for the corruption of a few powerful people benefiting from the subsidy regime. He noted that the president should have gone after those individuals and not punish Nigerians. In his State of the Nation address titled Vice, Virtue and Time, the three things that never stand still, Bakare stated that the removal of subsidy is tantamount to deleting Nigerians. In 2014, Bakare convened the Save Nigeria Group, SNG, which protested against the removal of fuel subsidy by the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. In his address, the preacher said the president should rather kill corruption and not Nigerians, whom he noted are now bearing the brunt of the capricious policies of political actors and the greed of a colluding elite. He said, from a wrongly implemented Naira redesign policy to an impulsive fuel subsidy removal announcement, and from a drowning of purchasing power in an attempt to float the Naira to an unbearable increase in the cost of basic amenities, the past and recent months have been particularly excruciating for the Nigerian citizens. I'm talking about employees who have been forced to trek owing to the unaffordable spike in transportation costs, parents struggling to bridge the gap between their life savings and the cost of living, graduates whose chances of getting a job have become slimmer due to the impact of the economy on the labor market. I'm talking about that trader whose small daily income has further diminished in value due to the dwindling value of the Naira. That farmer who looks on in agony as his produce rot on the farm due to transportation challenges, inflation and insecurity. Those children who will invariably be sent home in September due to outstanding fees. Bakare noted that the announcement by Tinubu in his May 29th inaugural address that subsidy is gone, despite not being in his inaugural speech, had unwittingly plunged Nigeria into chaos by a very poor change management process. Whatever the president's true motivations were, it is clear that he put the cart before the horse. What is also clear is that the president was economical with the truth by giving Nigerians the impression that he was taking a courageous move to remove the fuel subsidy when the previous government had already taken that step. As Nigerians would later learn, subsidy payment had already been ended by the Buhari administration and no subsidy was paid in 2023, even though there was provision for it on paper up to June 2023. According to Bakare, the president, in line with change management principles, should have handled more carefully the announcement of such an issue that borders on the livelihood of the Nigerian citizens. He observed that that would have spared Nigerians the reactionary scarcity and price hikes that immediately followed his announcement. Furthermore, what is even clearer is that the president had been handed a month of grace by the previous administration, a month that should have been used to put in place cushioning effect before the official expiration of the subsidized economy. What is further clear concerning our domestic challenges is that by imposing hardship on Nigerians without going after those corrupt individuals, corporations and government officials who have plundered Nigerians over the years in the name of subsidy, the president has picked the wrong fight, he said. He recalled that the 2012 protest against the subsidy removal, saying that the fight then was against the corruption in the system, adding, This was our fight when, amidst the threats to my life and family right there at Ojota and live on national and international television, I called out by name those individuals and corporate entities who had allegedly ravaged our nation. Mr. President, given the complexity of the Nigerian economy, we are not thoroughly convinced that your palliatives will be sufficient to cushion the effect of your policies on the Nigerian citizens. He said the demand 11 years ago was for the current occupant of the office of the president to kill corruption, not Nigerians. Some might say that you, Mr. President, are too tainted to fight corruption because you were escorted into the presidency by a retinue of corruption allegations. Some might even describe you as transparently, opaquely corrupt because despite the indicators of state capture allegedly linked to you, no one has proved these allegations against you in any Nigerian court of competent jurisdiction. Some might argue that even the road you took to the presidency was itself paved with filth from the cesspool of corruption, and that you're therefore incapable of mounting any genuine fight against corruption. Mr. President, while we admit that as of today, our nation has transitioned from an administration that came to power on the 12th, 30th, supposed wings of integrity and anti-corruption to one that cannot be described as such, the fact remains that you are today the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with enormous powers to fight against corruption in its hydra-headed forms. So now let's take some comments. The first commenter said, some psychiatric patients would start hurling insult at this man for speaking the truth. All they want is, as long as Tinubu is there, let the country burn. Our local. Another person said, I laugh at foolish people that are insulting the pastor for true talk. As they pain all of us, it is sweet the Presido and his gang. Sit down there, they fight for old Tinubu. Another said, Tunde Bakare, you have enough chaos in your life already. Remember you told us that God has decided that you are the next president. Another said, don't mind the inconsistent man. Another said, very true, he did not sit down to think of the effect on poor people. Another said, bad loser, you got 0 at primaries and you're bitter. Another said, the president is very heartless. Because of his policies, I can't raise money for my eye surgery. Wow. Another person said, I'm in agreement with you, Tunde Bakare. At 95 in mental decline, Tinubu is not fit for president-elect. Let the court do the needful and return Peter Obi's stolen mandate. Another said, of course, every well-meaning Nigerian will agree 100% with Pastor Bakare that in handing the fuel subsidy, President Tinubu put the cart before the horse and have plunged Nigerians into chaos. Another said, any good leader would have first of all know the state of affairs of the NNPC, look inside their book, find out when the refineries will be ready, meet first with stakeholders and work out the way out for the people when subsidy is removed, and at least allow the June ending to finish, which is when the subsidy paid by the Buhari administrations will come to an end. Then you go ahead, remove the subsidy. Not coming on the first and announce that on the first day and announce that subsidy is gone without any proper arrangement on ground to carry out the plan. President Tinubu has shown that he's a kindergarten pupil when it comes to the running of the whole country. See how he's messing up the issue about the coup in Niger, showing is not in, I didn't get that last part. Another person said the government is just like placing a rat as guard over dried fish. It's like having a squirrel in the same bag with corn whilst planting. In such situations, nothing good comes out of it. Another said, you now realize that when you lost during primary elections, jealous, embittered, bad loser. Another said, thank God for the courage you have to speak this blatant truth. God bless you and raise end-time prophet like you that can speak out the truth. Another said, when a criminal whose days are numbered and wants to recoup all he can while the time lasts, the demon has long been dethroned spiritually, waiting for the manifestation. Another said, Bakare is belly aching, unstable as ocean waves. Another said, a clear case of lack of capacity. Another said, it's a pity that we have governments who thinks like a child. Another said, Pastor, learn from Jesus Christ though. Another said, any idiot, including Tunde Bakare, can criticize the president as if they are blind to the state of the nation before he took over. Another said, you want to start talking now because you are not in the ministerial list? Another said, many people talk and say Jagaban lack mental capacity for this kind of job. Yesterday, it was fuel subsidy removal without refining. Today is 7 days ultimatum of billions of dollars will be pushed into war with Niger while hunger and insecurity deals with Nigerians. Keeping company with bandits Asari, is that not the Jaga plus bandit? I prophesied producing Jaga bandits. Another said, now enslavement, Presido don't put all Nigerians into now. Another said, the president ought also to have announced the border reopening, release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, probe of subsidy payments by previous administration. Another said, a pastor that is into a political will to become the president, what do you expect from him than to say rubbish? Another said, my pastor, please let us give President Bola Tinubu a chance to navigate his journey through it all with our support and prayers. God bless you, sir. Another said, this man should hide his face in shame. His fake prophecy of being a president is crap. Leave our president to work. Another commenter said, the pains associated with the pronouncement will fade away in due course. Nigeria shall be great again with President Tinubu. Another said, Bakare, I think it's time for you to zip your mouth. You're already disconnected from the reality. Another said, Tunde Bakare, you talk too much, but still remain corrupt. Another said, it's so easy to criticize Mr. Bakare. Another said, what is your stress with whatever decision taken by someone you can never call your president? You scored 0 in the primary to show how inconsequential and irrelevant you are in public affairs. Another said, Pastor, all of you are the same. Another said, I agree with you totally. One had expected him to please the masses that overwhelmingly voted. Instead, he's saying we can go to hell. He has forgotten that there's always another day. Alright, so those are the few comments I will take now as Pastor Tunde Bakare of the formerly known Lateran Assembly Church, now called Citadel Global Community Church in Lagos, lambasting the president and saying that, he should have done better in the way he's handled fuel subsidy announcement and also the Niger crisis versus ECOWAS and all of that. Remember, Pastor Tunde Bakare was also a contestant in the presidential primary, but he wasn't able to pull any votes. What's your opinion on his comments? Please drop it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. May God bless Nigeria. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.